Fisheries is actually the basis for a whole set of human rights. Around 12% of the world population depends on fisheries one way or another for their income. At the same time, you know, the pollution of the oceans, climate change, etc. is affecting fisheries and thereby jeopardizing the livelihood of these billions of people. And also the working conditions in fisheries in many countries present severe human rights and labor challenges, because fishing, it's offshore, is often not regulated. There's a lot of illegal fishing, and in some of the fishing vessels we even see incidents of slavery. Child labor is also prevailing in the sector, both in the actual fishing, but also in the value chain associated with fisheries. There are so many good reasons for human rights institutions to get involved and engage with the fisheries sector. National human rights institutions play a very important role as kind of bridging international human rights obligations and instruments and domestic implementation. However, we can see that national human rights institutions have not really engaged systematically in the fisheries sector. That is partly also because the sector is so complicated. It's governed by a lot of layers of international law, environmental regulations, the international law on the sea. Based on the experience of the Danish Institute for Human Rights on business and human rights and sustainable development, we felt that it was really important to engage in with this sector, and also use the experience that we will gain to share with other national human rights institutions. When we go to the supermarket and buy a fish, we don't want to contribute to child labor or forced labor. So there's the whole issue of how can we trace the products, how can we label them so that the consumer can make a choice. There's no doubt that human rights is a very important framework for getting things right in the fisheries sector.